Hang on there, folks. We're about to log in here. We're going to have the big Fukushima money bomb, just like Alex Jones and his money bomb, except this time here, it's for Fukushima. It's starting soon. Please stand by. You're going to be feared. Okay, hi there, folks. Connecting dots here. So I'm just tuning in here to this, as you can see on the screen there, Fukushima money bomb by Beautiful Girl by Dana. Now, I don't know if you caught the videos here put up in the last couple of days.
I better turn it down because you'll hear it.
Oh, here we go. Let's
We're launching an expedition to go to the North Coast to look for the life you see behind me that is missing.
Oh. Having a problem here. My internet lag. So he's saying, oh, it's missing.
And today we have troubling, startling, absolutely dire news from Tofino on the west coast of Vancouver Island, where 9 million people would go every year to take the pictures of what you see here right at the wharf, and is now missing. This is a community of around 1,100 people, and
it's less than 1,100.
that's what they do every summer. There's around 9 million people come through their community. Imagine if you're a community of 1,100 people, 9 million people crash your party for a couple of months. But they're good natured and everything is set up to accommodate that and move them through. It's pretty devastating to see the whole industry disappear on you. And then as such, of course, people have nothing to return to. Now, when you look at that right across the entire spectrum of British Columbia, it seems surreal that that could be a possibility. Well, we covered approximately 200, a little bit more, a little bit less. And we just done something simple where we went looking to see if there was anything obvious. And there was 4 species. 2 of the species, 3 of them, sticks to the rocks as a habit, as a lifestyle, which is 2 algae, 2 kelps. And then 1 species was a mussel. And so the only species that we seen were 3 that were glued to the rock. And then the 4th one was a purple sea or starfish. And what was missing from the equation was everything else, like the snails, like the whelks, particularly and most startling the sea anemones. All the sponges were missing, the squirts, and even up in the high tide line, everything is missing. None of the indigenous insects you find were there. There was no kelp forest. And probably the most significant, I think, is the limpets. They usually dominate everything along with the snails, right? We didn't see any hermit crabs in any of the tide pools that we checked. We didn't see any Clintons. And most unusual, we didn't see the infamous, just a single species. There's around 70 species of sea anemones. And
okay, I got to end it here because I know many of you don't want to listen to this BS, and I'm glad that he brought up these sea anemones because, I'm continuing on my search here because I just want to prove that this guy is nothing but a big fat liar. I know it because I live here on Vancouver Island, British Columbia, and I pulled up a couple of videos here. As you can see, this one here was filmed in September 2013. I have a few 2 other ones. Here's 2014, Port Washington, Pender Island, BC. And another one here, again, Pender Island, 2014. But I'm going to pull out the Portal Cove one because in this video here, he's claiming that he's done all of this West Coast area, which, by the way, he hasn't. I mentioned this in my past video. When he did go on his little 9-day trek for 200 kilometers, he was only out on the ocean. He rented a boat for 3 hours. I'm not making this up. He actually said this. And the rest of the time, well, he traveled a highway. They walked down to the beach. He didn't have any scuba diving equipment. He didn't take any pictures underwater. There are only pictures from about 4 or 5 feet above the surface of the ground or the beach, and couldn't find sea life. It's an absolute lie. I know that. I live here in Victoria, Vancouver Island, British Columbia. So I'm going to go out here, as I'd mentioned. I was supposed to go today, but the weather was bad again. So I'm going out soon. Don't worry. I'm going to go out here, and this is not even a prime spot. I'm going to go to some of the heaviest industrialized area here in Vancouver Island and Victoria. I'm going to take some footage here. I'm going to find you some sea life here, and this is one of the worst straits. The Strait of Juan de Fuca is worn by sailors because of the amount of water it flushes in, flushes out. So I don't want to hear anyone saying that this 200-kilometer coastline is saturated with radiation because a whole bunch of it was pushed in this one little crack, but not much came in here. I'm sorry, but that's wrong. It's world-renowned, this Strait of Juan de Fuca here. The ship, container ships, the pilots themselves, the master seamen have to pull aside here, and we have pilot boats that come out here and they bring their ships all the way up to Vancouver. And so it's a heavy commercialized area, but I just want to let everyone know that the footage that you're about to see here was taken in the same area where he wants to go. So there's Vancouver. He went on 200 kilometers in this trek. I'm just going to show you exactly where this next footage was taken because I know he's lying because he didn't go underwater, and he's made all kinds of false claims. All the flies in that whole 200-kilometer stretch of the Sunshine Coast could fit in one glass. He didn't see a single bird, not a single crow. These are all absolute lies. Anyone living in Vancouver, in BC, would just say, "What the hell? Is this guy sick or what?" Just flat out lies. Lies. Okay, so the money bomb, I think, is not going to be a success except for a bunch of sucker people who don't know anything about the West Coast. So here's a little bit of footage here, and hopefully you can share some real footage here, what was taking place. This is just one specific location. Remember that. This video is only 4 minutes long, and it's at one specific location. This person didn't go out for, according to Dana, Beautiful Girl by Dana, he wants to go for 60 days here on the Sunshine Coast, and that's all I said. That's what I said. This whole thing of his is nothing but a big holiday scam. He's trying to get YouTubers to pay for his trip under the intentions that he's going to find nothing but no marine life. Everything's gone. I'm sorry to say, but this is all false. Like I said, this video is only 4 minutes and 5 seconds long. There's so much life in this, I think they're roughly in about a small area, 20 feet by 20 feet, maybe 40 feet by 40 feet. They don't move around a whole lot here. You'll get to see for yourself. You get to see how a crab fights for his life. Quite interesting. Let me just pause this for a second, see if I can make it a larger screen so you guys get a better image of what's going on. Okay, one more time here. We'll start with the sea cucumber, and guess what comes next? That's right, starfish. They're not all extinct, folks. Don't buy into it. I'm not saying there wasn't a disease that took a lot of them out, but the whole West Coast is definitely still very alive. Tourism has died down on the West Coast because of a crashing economy, not because Fukushima radiation and the extinction of all of our marine life. Absolute false. And people that live in Tofino, watch this next piece. This is very interesting. People that live in Tofino and listen to Dana, a Beautiful Girl by Dana's videos and his claims how there's nothing left, they know right away he's nothing but a liar. This is happening while you folks are sitting on your couch watching your videos, or sitting at your desk, wherever you are, you're watching this stuff, and some of you are getting feared because you don't live anywhere near the ocean. You have absolutely no experience in the ocean, and you're buying into someone who's saying nothing but lies, nothing to back it up. Now he wants you to send him some money to go on holidays for 60 days so he can take some underwater footage. No, I don't trust the person. Stay away from that. He's already lied. We've caught him lying here already. It's obvious. The West Coast is not dead. Lots of sea life. Yeah, lots of sea life. Just wait, we got some more coming up here. Like I said, these guys don't move around a lot in this one little clip here. And there's enough here for anyone with any common sense to realize, oh yeah, that's right. Look, and by the way, did you see that other starfish hanging over the edge there? You saw the two legs hanging over the edge. Look at all those fish. You see all the minnows? There's a lingcod. Yeah. Look what's right beside him on his left. Oh, sorry, it would be his right, the left of the screen here. Yeah. Another little urchin. Oh, there's another one too. Sad that someone can lie about this stuff. Tell you it's all extinct, there's nothing left. It's the economy that's crashed. The US dollar. The Americans don't have that heads up here on their currency anymore, so they're not coming here for that nice, cheaper holiday. You know, the ferry service has gone berserk. The fares are ridiculous. Yeah, has nothing to do with our ecology. Not saying Fukushima is not bad. There's definitely some radiation being released every single day. But making claims that all of the microscopic wildlife on the west coast has been wiped out is a false claim, and someone should be arrested or at least taken off YouTube for promoting that kind of bogus. Okay, so again here, Port Washington, Pender Island. I realize many of you aren't watching anymore because you realize that who wants to listen to someone complain about another person all the time? Well, you realize this is a much more than just one person. He's connected to a lot of other lion two-faced shills here. So there's 2 in 1 here, folks. You got a sea cucumber and you got yourself a small octopus all in one shot. Things aren't dead, okay? Don't buy into that BS. Okay, last clip, and this one here again, you get to see a little crab here. There's several crabs in this clip, and again, it's not a very long clip. It's only 8 minutes long. 3/4 of the way through, I probably saw about, I don't know, 5 or 6 crabs. This gentleman's not even out looking for crabs. Now kind of looks like he is. I guess it's because they realize, oh, look at all these different crabs kicking around. So yeah, different places along the seashore, you get different types of marine life. So don't expect you're going to get the same marine life at every single location. That's very, very, very important. It's no different than taking a drive in a car, driving out to the, to back roads and running into small little prairies, open fields, meadows, sandy areas. That's their environment. It's all different. Variety is a spice of life. I don't expect that you're going to go at one location and find all of the variety of all the marine life all in one spot, and especially not like he said here. For 9 days he drove around his car, different provincial parks. Yeah, provincial parks have the heaviest foot traffic in those intertidal, these low tide areas. Heavy traffic. So if you're going to look for some real signs of the wilderness, you got to go out where people aren't trekking everywhere. So when you go scuba diving, of course, no footprints down there. Okay, so I'm going to end this video. I just want to let you know that I'm watching this live footage of his, and I want to see how much of a joke he makes of himself this time. Okay, take care, folks.